Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, Doom the Dark Ages, 100% walkthrough continuation, hopping on board now with mission number 15, one of those kind of more linear missions, and the kind of average length mission as well. Now as you start, you'll just basically swim forward and the game will automatically make you go through the correct kind of tubes. It makes you feel like you have some control here over your character, but you do not. As soon as we do enter into the open area in front of us, there is only really one way to go. There is also a Sentinel Shrine, which you can use immediately if you so desire, but for now, I'm going to be mostly saving my money. Interact with this stone, which I believe is a cosmic stone, although don't quote me on that, and you will be teleported up. So as I mentioned in the opening area, there is a Sentinel Shrine. I'm going to temporarily ignore that, and I'm going to follow the mission marker here. I am going to open up my auto map very quick, go over to my challenges. I have 2 mission challenges for now. Parry 3 Cacodemons, and I also have to stun 8 or more demons using the ability for the Sheild Rune that we recently picked up. Instead of going through the ring directly in front of us, drop down a ledge. This will allow you to break through a wall on the right-hand side, use the grapple point to make a jump across the gap. This elevator will lift you back up a little bit. You'll immediately be able to grab 16 gold via these 2 stacks. You'll be able to interact with this stone, and this will open the door that links you back into the area that we started at. In that area, we had the Sentinel Shrine, but now, since we've used this stone, we have a man cannon that spawned across. Go to that man cannon, it'll shoot you up to a ruby, and you can pick up that ruby. Now you have a little bit more gold, and you have an extra ruby. You can use it on the Sentinel Shrine if you so desire. We now continue to the only path we can. We will be often jumping through these rings using a shield charge. Whenever that happens, the ring will disappear behind us. So every time we jump through a ring, it's kind of like having a point of no return. You'll climb up a climbable wall. Do not jump through the next ring. Instead, drop down the ledge to your left-hand side. Here you'll find a couple of pieces of gold along a path. This will also then lead you to a life sigil at the end of the path. There's a lot of really annoying tentacle arms that pop up, but the door will then also open up. You'll be able to hook around to your right to rejoin that same path we were on. Just make sure you pick up all of those pieces of gold before you jump across the next gap. Then you'll have another ring, and again, you'll actually want to ignore this one as you can drop off down from the ledge to the right and grab 5 more pieces of gold before you climb back up and jump through the next ring. Those pieces of gold were pretty tricky, honestly, just because of how tempting it is to go through the next ring. Once you do go through that next ring, hopefully you don't immediately end up at 3 health like me. There will be a new enemy type. I'm not 100% sure what this enemy type is called right now, just off the top of my head. But what you'll want to do is pretty much the same standard thing here. Stay nice and close, parry when possible. I'm going to be using my Ravager just because I got used to using it in the last mission. I don't have any other weapon masteries to work on, and I will be trying to get a couple of parries in really quick. So right now I'm not shooting any enemies. I'm waiting for them to shoot a parryable attack at me. That is so that I can work on the Torrent mission challenge for shocking them with the Heavenly Strike Shield Rune that I recently unlocked. Now if any Cacodemons show up, we'll also work on Heads Up, and we will also unlock a new melee weapon here, which will have a mission challenge as well, but that's happening a little bit later on. Take out all of the enemies until they despawn. Once you're able to, you can line up the Cosmic Eye gates, and then you'll be able to throw your shield to destroy the gates and then open up the doors that are kind of connected to them. I kind of like mission number 15 as there are some light puzzle elements coming up which I honestly really enjoyed. It also plays with like gravity and a little bit of your perspective. But go ahead, take out the gate, then shield charge your way through the next gate, and once you land in the next room, there's a lot of different paths you can take coming up and a lot of doors that unlock on like your second time through a room. As you start though, you'll be able to jump across a large gap. There will be a new enemy type here, which I think is the witch. There's also a golden chest to our left, which we can't grab quite yet. Now, if you're very quick, you can sprint towards the witch here, immediately stun lock them with your shield, and take them out in seconds. However, if you don't stun lock them, they will shield up, and that can just sometimes add a little bit of extra time to the battle. Once both of them are taken out, use the man cannon in the middle of the area. Ignore your marker for your main objective, and instead turn back around, pointing into the direction that we came from. From there, you'll be able to jump to the right-hand side, finding a grapple point, grapple up there, and once you get up there, you'll find a gold chest worth 50 gold. Additionally, if you then start looking back, jump across the gap, and go to your left-hand side. As you go to the left here, you'll find more pieces of gold, so you can just jump across the gap, look to your left, drop down, and find those pieces of gold. Follow the pieces of gold to the end of the hallway, and as you wrap around, there will be a climbable wall. Climb that wall, and there is a Codex page here. The door will open and link you back to where we were, rejoining the main mission path. Once you come into the next room, interact with the pillar in the middle. Here we'll find our third and final melee weapon of the game called the Dread Mace. It only can hold one attack at a time. It's extremely slow to use that attack, but it deals an incredibly large amount of damage and damages nearby enemies as well. You can refill the attack by picking up melee ammo on the ground. You can also parry and take out demons to refill it, and when you use it, it will also refill all of the ammo in all of your weapons. And this also does start a mission challenge for damaging 35 demons using this weapon. We're going to try to work towards this face cracker mission challenge really as much as possible, as quickly as possible. I found this mission challenge incredibly difficult, and if you don't get it by the end of the mission, it's okay. I'll explain a little bit of a trick to help make it a little bit easier. But when possible, if you have a melee charge, try to use it on a large group of enemies. Once we've finished the Dread Mace tutorial, you may be worried that there are a couple of locked doors in this room, but don't worry, we'll come back to this room, and those doors will unlock themselves kind of through natural progression. Instead, follow the mission marker. As you come into the room, look to your left, you'll find an energy node. Activate that energy node, and you'll notice that the pillar in the middle of the room will lift almost like an elevator. It'll reveal a pool of water underneath it. We'll swim in this pool of water, watching out for the stones that will crush you against the wall, and we will swim through a few pieces of gold as we swim across. You should take a break between the two pressure pads if you don't want to get smushed and lose a bunch of damage, and then as you come out of the water at the end, the door will open, also revealing a ruby, which we will want to pick up. With this secret kind of out of the way, I don't know if the game actually counts this as a secret, we can now stand on the platform in the middle of the room and then use the energy node. This will lift us. We'll be able to grapple up onto a wall. Here we'll be able to line up the cosmic eye. We'll be able to throw our shield at the eye in order to destroy it. And once it's destroyed, we will open up that door in front of us. If you open up your auto map here, you should have 4 out of 10 secrets. You should have 90 gold. You'll have a little bit more than me and 1 ruby. And once you're able to come out of that auto map, use your shield on the energy node to lift the platform, go jump across the platform and into the hole. Once you're in this hole, just follow it around and enter into the next arena. Now, this is a little bit difficult because this is a Cacodemon right in front of us. Now we know that for sure. Previously in the walkthrough, I was a little confused on what the definition was there. But the Cacodemon needs to be parried 3 times in order for the heads up mission challenge to activate. I found that getting the Cacodemon to actually shoot you with a parryable attack was very difficult, and a lot of times there will be like a million other enemies attacking you at the same time. In order to get the Cacodemon to do a parryable attack, I found that you want to stay at medium range, and that is the most likely scenario for it to do that. And there will be more Cacodemons later, but the more parries you get against them now, the better and easier the mission will be later on. This final enemy does count as a leader, and they will upgrade our maximum available health to 180, which is pretty great. For Facecracker, I am only at 12 out of 25, which is pretty bad progress, to be honest. Hopefully you're doing a little bit better than me, but it's okay if you're not. Again, I will explain a way to kind of quickly and easily get that up at the end of the mission. Go ahead and follow the mission marker, then dropping down the hole. At the bottom of the hole, you'll go into the room in front of you, and there is a little bit of a brain teaser. You'll walk through the opening, look to your right-hand side, and you'll find an energy node. Activate the energy node, which will switch the pillars. Once you switch the pillars, you can climb up the pillar on the far end of the room. This will allow you to climb up into a small hole in the wall. You'll be able to follow a hallway around, and at the end of that hallway, you'll be able to use your shield to activate a superheated metal latch, which will drop a cube into the room. With that cube dropped, you can now activate the energy node a second time. With that energy node activated, it'll switch the pillars again. With the pillars switched, you should be able to now basically shield charge the cube. It will go along the outer edge of the room and work as a ledge that we can grapple up into to get to the next area. This area, I believe, will link us back to a room that we've previously been in, but now this room, I believe, will have an open door that was previously not open. Once in this room, you can comfortably head to the mission marker, which was previously a locked door when we were here for the first time. This will lead you into a swim section, which you'll come around the bend. And as you come out of the next little circle, there will be a stone in front of you. Please do not interact with it. This is an elevator, and it is a point of no return. This elevator makes you go to the next area, and you'll miss the collectibles nearby. Use the other bridge to link through the hole. And as you come through that hole, look to your right-hand side. You'll find 4 pieces of individual gold and then 2 stacks of 8 at the end of this swim section. But do not exit the water from here. Instead, start heading back from where we came. Then, as you're coming across, you'll notice that there are some fireballs. So do not exit to your left. Instead, keep swimming now in the opposite direction we came from. You want to dodge these fireballs as they can do quite a bit of damage. I think they do about 50, if not more. And just dodge all of the fireballs to get across. Here you'll find more pieces of gold, and at the very end you'll also find a life sigil. Even if you don't need it, I would recommend swimming all the way to the end of the area, as this unlocks a secret area, and you want to make sure you get all the secrets before we finish off the mission. Now you can comfortably go back to that elevator, interacting with the Cosmic Stone. I will open up my auto map. 5 out of 10 secrets. You'll have 116 gold, 1 ruby, 1 demonic essence, 1 out of 2 collectibles in the bottom right-hand corner. After getting off that elevator, 2 enemies will attack you. Feel free to use a melee on them in order to get a little bit more progress towards Facecracker. After you take out these enemies, drop down and to the right where the whiplash came from, as there is a secret ledge here with a 50 gold chest that you can break. This is important because the next door we're about to walk through is another point of no return, which I believe makes it so that you will miss that gold and you'll have to redo the entire mission. Head through the door and then up the man cannon, and after the man cannon you will have a couple of platforms to navigate here. Jump across the gap, climb the wall, and then you'll be able to grapple across to the next door. As you exit here, you'll be able to use a ring to glide across to a platform in the middle of the area. You'll automatically land low, and there will be some gold that I believe you can't miss. I think it was placed here because a lot of people got lost and didn't know what to do, so this gold kind of guides them in the proper direction of the mission. Climb the climbable wall, jump across the gap. There's, again, only really one way to go. At the end of this walkway, turn to the left and go up the ledge, following for a couple more pieces of gold. Here you'll be able to throw your shield through a hole in the wall to activate a man cannon, which if we now go back across, we'll be able to use this man cannon. That's the only way to get onto this platform. On this platform, another Cacodemon, which we're going to try to get a parry on very quickly. That parry is for the mission challenge called Heads Up. As soon as that is done, you'll be able to now not worry about those Cacodemons, but still do worry about the Facecracker in order to get some work on that. You will notice on this platform there is a Gore nest. We're going to temporarily ignore that, as we'll be able to use a ring later on to get to that island, but the only way to do that is to start by going forward. As you come across the gap, look to your left, 4 pieces of gold and a BFC ammo, which we can use, but because we're working on Facecracker and weapon masteries, I'm not going to use it for the time being. 2 enemies will spawn, a demon and a mancubus. Take those 2 enemies out, jump to the wall and clamber up. Here is where we'll be able to find more collectibles and then a teleport to the Gore nest. So go directly across this platform to the other side. And on the other side, you'll be able to drop down, find the 3 pieces of gold, continue along that path, and then jump across to the Gore nest. The Gore nest ends with a leader that will increase our maximum armor from 110 to 120. Hopefully made a little bit more progress towards Facecracker, although unfortunately I'm only at 17 out of 25, and the mission is very quickly coming to an end, unfortunately. But we don't have to worry about that for now. Instead, come back to that mantleable wall, go around the corner towards the mission objective. Keep an eye out to your right-hand side as you come out of this hallway. You'll be able to crash through a wall. This will reveal a secret area as well as a toy. You'll be able to land on that toy, which is a Agadon Hunter, and then from that Hunter we can grapple back up. Then pretty much directly in front of us we'll find a Wraithstone, so make sure you pick up this very, very obvious one. It's right next to our objective. Now that we have the Wraithstone, turn to the right, line up the Cosmic Stone or Cosmic Eye gate, use your shield to break open the gate, and a battle will begin directly in front of us. I didn't think about this, but you can go directly to the Sentinel Shrine underneath yourself in order to apply your Wraithstone if you want to work on a weapon mastery. Additionally, you can use your melees here with the Dread Mace in order to work on Face Cracker. I'd recommend using your melees on the large groups of enemies, either the ones with the shields or just the ones with the cannon fodder. Now, if you for some reason aren't able to complete Face Cracker during this combat section, before the combat section is over, pause your game and restart your checkpoint. You should keep the progress for the Face Cracker mission challenge, and you'll be able to repeat this combat arena as many times as you need to get the mission challenge done. I don't recommend this, as the game can get a little bit glitchy when you do redo the same checkpoints over and over, but this is a good way to not have to redo the entire mission if you don't want to. Take out all of the enemies, including the leaders and anything else that spawns. Hit your parries, work on any weapon masteries you don't already have done. And before you leave the mission, there is one more thing to do. We do end off with a Komodo demon, one of my least favorite enemies to play around with, maybe because it seems like it's made for a higher FOV, and on console the game seems to run best on 90 FOV, so it's a little bit hard to read those Komodo attacks. But as soon as you take them out, before you end the mission, highly recommend going to the Sentinel Shrine, applying one of your Wraithstones to a weapon you'd like to master. I'm going to use a couple of rubies on the super shotgun, and I'm going to use my Wraithstone on the accelerator. This isn't a weapon I really want to use too much, but I'd rather just get it out of the way and not have to worry about it later. Feel free to also use your gold on any rune upgrades you may desire, as well as the Dread Mace. I'm going to put a decent amount of currency into the Dread Mace before I finish off the level. And before you exit out of the final gate, I'd highly recommend you open up your auto map, double check that you have all of the gold, rubies, wraithstones, demonic essence, collectibles, and secrets, and when you're ready, go ahead, go through, and you'll get your chapter complete 100% screen. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Share the video with a friend, drop a like. Hopefully you subscribe for more. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.